Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. Like it really was from January, there's really nice energy because we started with Lisa Hadigan telling her story, and that was really
Oh, yeah.
rich and deep. Her the transformation and the way she saw herself getting pulled into this negative force through love and belonging and hate all mixed up together, and how the woman that she was hating on is actually a woman who she had to go to for help when she was her most vulnerable. She called that environmentalist who she'd been hounding, and she came to the hospital and helped her get out of the dangerous situation. And so that broke my heart open, like that someone
Mm.
had that experience, and that now she's talking about it, um, and so she can see how she got polarized, and then she's coming. It's her journey back to wholeness, and so I think that's such a great role model in some ways.
Yeah, and then I think I was at that event, and then I came into the event where everybody was sharing what they wanted to maybe do. And I remember that felt like a wide open space to me. There was sort of this sounds like the energy was very open and non-hierarchical, if that's the right way of saying it. So there was this movement of openness and willingness and invitation. And I love that feeling that it was an invitation to explore what was emerging in the hearts of the participants. And that's where I moved forward and put out my desire to do something. So I thought that was that's how that felt to me. It was very it was not exhilarating. That's not the right word. It was just felt like home. It was good.
So you felt welcome and inspired to step up.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a, oh my God, I got to step up. It was such a natural
Offering.
invitation. Yes, yes, it was like the exploration. There was no I didn't feel any resistance.
Oh,
It
that's
was
nice.
really cool. Yeah. So invitation, welcoming.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping to create, is a space where more people get that welcome feeling to practice with us and in their spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was touched by the lady that came with her baby, and she was going to host an event, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. The dialogues, and she was, kind of talking about how that was going to be managed with the baby that was going to be making noise, and you were there to support, and it sort of had this unconstructed vibe to it that was really allowing what wanted to emerge to be supported. That's what it was. Yeah, it's good. Okay.
February. And then March
Is
was
that the dreamer?
probably, yeah, because that was right after the.
Oh yeah, and then that was very experiential. Actually, that was fascinating. Not only the people that showed up, but the whole process as somebody new into your experience, this movement of energy that would happen and flow with the planning. And then, somebody would say, oh, dreamer. And then there'd be this welcoming of sensations and intuitions and imagery, which I experienced, and then taking the guidance that I received after and then integrating it into the event. It just felt very wholesome and holistic and collective, and that there was an interest in collective intelligence. It was being put into action. The surprise of a lot of people showing up, and then the experience of something, as you put so beautifully, of a pause to do a magical journey to a beautiful Canada. Yeah, that was a neat moment.
And I felt like when you guided us into that future, I think it was the most ever I really arrived in the future and was looking around and could like see all these details. I was in Tim Hortons and there was a
Yeah.
TV playing and it was the new type of news and there was a new type of vibe in Tim Hortons, and so I thought, oh, that's really cool because I wasn't sure what to expect, but I thought, and that partially I was saying, why isn't she narrating like what I'm seeing, And then I was like, oh no, everyone's supposed to get their own thing, right, yeah, yeah. So it was that was really cool, and we all brought something back with us that was beautiful, and we did do a write-up on that. So I think I'd like to share that because it was a nice write-up of that experience.
Yeah,
We made
and
a
the
mural. We
images.
made the mural together. Yeah. I take a step back because we did the Bohm dialogues before that, Richard.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And that's when like a lot of people showed up, and that day, like no one wanted to leave, remember? And everyone was so engaged through that Bohm dialogue.
Do you remember that, Richard?
It was dominance.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it just the one? We did two, didn't we?
Don't remember that. We did the one, and then for sure I think we did a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you're referring to the one that was on we had the display, the graphic on dominance at that time, advertised to the site. So what I'm hearing through what you've discussed so far, some of the key words were, of course, open heart, open mind. The emergence is really a strong word for us. The invitation, the welcoming, we're always in the invitation. We're inviting in all the whole person, the whole system, imagination, intuition, those kinds of things. We're co-creating a we space, right? Holding a space for every individual and another energy of we to show up within that space. So there's allowing, there's flowing, there's awareness, there's acknowledgement, these kinds of words I just wrote down from just what we're talking about. And it's there's a trusting process behind and we're not trying to force anything. There's some open space principles. Whatever happens is the only thing that could. Looking at the website, well, that's what happened. I can let go. I could use the law of 2 feet and say, I'm out of here. I have got lots of choice. So choice is choicing of allowing each individual to choose how much and where they're going to show up. Is also being this energy. There's a trusting of each other, which has been nice within our group, but it extends out into the community. Someone says I can't be there today, or I'd like to leave early, and there's this acknowledgement of you handle your own needs. There's that sense. So all of these qualities I think are really wonderful to hold these and model these within ourselves. We're creating a base energy of the container that it will continue to grow and wave out.
Just on that theme of the container we created, we took quite some time at the beginning to form our values together and have these sort of self-responsibility and contribution discussions about our roles and that sort of things. And sometimes I try to push people into roles a bit, and that would sometimes make them leave. But also I find in this group, more than any other I've tried to lead, people feel empowered and energized to contribute. Like I don't feel like I'm doing it all myself and I'm trying to pull everyone else along, which I get stuck in sometimes. So I think that what I've learned about emergence and practicing as the vision holder here, I feel like it's working. Like I feel like the people who are showing up are really contributing a lot of energy in this, with this freedom and responsibility is happening. And then we've sunk into some roles and some flow that we do the similar each time. So that helps us make each event is flowing nicely out of our rhythm of meetings.
And Valerie, you came in, not very long ago, and it seems like you've been with us forever. So I'm curious about what your transition, your onboarding was like. You just kind of dropped into the space with us, and it was like you were already here from the start. And I wasn't here from the very start either, from for the very first couple of sessions, but I've been here for a while. But there is this flow in and out, and of people, which seems natural in this, and this allowing of, I'm going to step out for a while. Okay, at least I don't feel any it's not, there's nothing good or bad about it. It's just what is happening.
Yeah, people are taking turns in waves. So Steve was really helping a lot collect people, and then Deb was helping a lot with the communications, and then when one person would sort of run out of energy, a new person would come in, sort of. So it's we call that porpoising. we supporting
or goosing, Canada goosing, taking the lead here and there, in some ways. Not quite. Maybe it's porpoising better.
Well, my experience coming in was there was Pamela and I had a conversation prior, and I was very excited about some of the emerging energies and trends I was sensing, and very excited about this initiative as a result of what I was sensing happening in the world. And she says, you should pop in and consider maybe meeting the core group. And when I came in, and I think I shared with you some of the synchronicities, especially with the Bohm dialogues and Krishna Maharti and Rupert Spira, and then Diana Clare also working in the non-dual space, which is where I love to be now. Not all the time, but that's my interest. Then this experience, the energy of it felt very natural and right, and almost like I said, I would get up on Thursday and like a little kid, I just couldn't wait until this experience again. Now I'm getting acclimatized to it, but it was like that. I'm still very happy. I don't think I've missed a 3 o'clock since I've come on board. It was very natural.
It has that easy quality. It's sort of we know we're showing up for each other. We enjoy our time talking to each other, and then from that rich conversation sort of bubbles up what we want to do, and then we have the energy to do it because it really came from all of us. So it feels good like that.
It does. Yeah, it's non-hierarchical, whereas where I work it's hierarchical.
Yeah, but there is a little bit of hierarchy. Like I sort of lead, and I tend to sort of say, okay, we're doing this then, and I think once or twice I've checked in, do I have your consent for that? Is the sense that I have, and it helps move things along, and I'll just sort of speak up and say, okay, that sounds good with everyone, and then we just know that we move forward, I guess.
Yeah, there's so much more energy available.
But it's not I'm not telling people what to do. Sort of I'm inviting people to contribute and helping put pieces in place or ask questions that help us move forward or something like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then there was Diana Leah's did some water listening fields, 2 of them with us recently.
In preparation for Eva, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was big because
that was.
Because they came to us because they said, we want to have this, we see this division in the field. The community organized a dialogue, but it was so one-sided, we didn't feel like it was really a dialogue that saw, it was only the mainstream narrative. It was very putting down the health narrative. And so they said, but we want to have a conversation about the health narrative, and so it's all about the health narrative. But then I think some art of hosting facilitators help them talk it through and see, what if you were really listening to each other And I think that was really great. It was Hillary Samuel, I think, helped them a lot to get to that place. And then I connected kind of randomly with Hillary, and then about this, and then we said, yes, let's meet, and maybe we can, because they said, we're not really facilitators, we don't really know how to facilitate the session, but we know we want to have a dialogue that listens to each other. And so then we became like a service provider in that, and that's a little bit, that's kind of cool, and that's part of the vision, is like, we want people to come with us and practice with us, and then Eva and her group are learning through the process, and they want to do more, and as they do more, they'll get comfortable to do it more on their own, and they won't always have us designing it. And then that's how we build that capacity out into the community. So that's what inspires me about that.
It was, and it was so interesting to be a part of the neutralizing process, the preparation, the understanding of the level of responsibility, personally, collectively, that each of us needed to bring into that experience to support the most optimal outcome, knowing that it wasn't going to be perfect, but that we would do our part with a very strong intention to be beyond division. And I found it very soulful in the sense that everybody was being heard and listened to, and there was like a quiet about it that was beautiful.
That was designed in,
yeah, it was rich.
And
yeah,
then
very rich.
And when we move forward, we want to bring even more connection, but we knew that the first step needed to be pretty separate because it was so divided. But there was some connection through the listening, being heard. People really want to tell their stories. It's really healing to be listened to in the circle. And the shadow showed up too. We held it because it was held in the circle of its own place. Yeah, and then one more listening field with our spirit elders, where we said which tree or river or mountain would actually like to partner with us for unity. Denalia led us in that. And I like that she says, no, it's a real tree, like it's a living being, and it wants to help you. So it's like not everyone goes for that, but when you do it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, something there, it's something to that. It's really supportive.
Yeah, that was really powerful. So that's been lasting for me, my relationship with the falls and the water. And I'm doing a morning ritual this week with a friend with water as a result too. So.
Yeah, I've got the tree that I connected with. It was like right out my window, so like I can see it and connect with it more than the ones that are further on the walk. So when I'm doing World Unity Week, it'll be there, right there with me. And it was like a lightning bolt was this part of the imagery. So I'm wondering if it's going to get hit by lightning or something, but we'll see. We'll see. Richard?
I'm finding myself difficult being fully present with everything, so I'm going to check out right now, and thank you. It was great to reminisce on this stuff.
Okay, just a quick question before you go. It says, I think we can share this recording. You mean with the team so they can listen?
I was thinking like with As the Harvest. We just did it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that easy?
Yeah, that is.
We're done.
Yes. We're done. Okay.
Yes.
Why not?
Are you going to clip off the end of this or keep it on?
Well, I think this is good. This is part of the process, everybody. This is how it works.
Yeah, this is how it works. Yeah. Richard said we're done, so now we're respecting it.
Well, I said I was
sign
done.
off. think we're good.
Let's say wave goodbye to the people watching. Come join us at World Unity Week.
Bye.